Hello, Aries. Welcome to your reading for April. We're going to get 3 cards. See what's coming through for you, Aries. It's definitely a heavier presence, but it's kind of like the feeling you feel when somebody is about to be given an Olympic gold medal. This is an analogy, of course. It's that feeling of like the air in the room feels thick and everybody is just waiting in anticipation to see who's going to be awarded. We're going to get 3 cards for the extended. These extendeds are about to be closed, so this is our last set on those for now, and I have a note pinned in my Patreon if you're curious as to why I've mentioned there. Well, basically, I've just said the universe is having me doing something else. That could be what's going on for you, Aries. The universe could have you on like another mission. I was going to say side mission, but I don't think it's a side mission. I think it's felt like a side mission. It's kind of like when you're in college and you have to have a certain amount of like credits. The universe may have been training you for a time in a particular area, Aries, to kind of get you used to something, as well as it's kind of like an acclimation period, or this is where you've been. It's like when you are at a job and you're in kind of like that preliminary testing period, if you will. It's like a temporary thing for like the first 3 months, but I think it's been longer than 3 months for you, Aries. This is an analogy. It's like you were being prepped. And it's not even really prepped. It's more, you had to become aware of something and how something worked from like the back end so that what you're about to do makes more sense. It's kind of like, I'm seeing this image of those old-fashioned puppet stages where you kneel down behind the curtains. It's like usually made of wood. And you kneel down and you have the puppets on your hands. I'm seeing it as the difference between being in the audience, you're watching the puppets with the other children, the difference between that and what Spirit has had you doing for the last however long period of time you would know. It's like Spirit brought you behind the stage and you see that there's actually just like a guy bending down and you see him like speaking out of the side of his mouth and he's playing both of the puppets with different voices. It's like a weird Truman Show moment. It's my favorite scene in the movie where he comes up against the sky and the sail of the boat, like the sailboat, it goes right through the sky. It's like wallpaper. And he walks in there and it's just like, it's a movie set. It's like Spirit has showed you the movie set. And now you're about to go out, whatever this means for you, and share about what you've seen. And yeah, people may say you're a conspiracy theorist. But I think that the things that you have to say, Aries, are worth saying. I don't think that you're going to be able to avoid this. I think you're a spokesman of some kind. And I think that there is an element of fear there's a weight to this knowledge that you have. We have Temperance at the bottom of the deck here. The only way that this sort of like whistleblowing, if you will, it doesn't have to be that, it could be something like that, will get out of hand is in the delivery. And when I said that, I just saw a delivery room. It's like in the way that it's not in the way that you birth the baby, it's in the way that you raise the baby. Like the way that with the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Swords here, followed by the Nine of Cups and the Temperance card. This is how I'm seeing this. All right. It's like I'm seeing this Knight of Cups making a joke. And I know we don't really think of the Knight of Cups as a joker, right? That's the analogy they're giving me. Maybe you're a comedian. The Knight of Cups is coming out, because these can be messengers, the Knights, right? I think why it's coming through as the Knight of Cups in what I'm about to say is because Spirit wants you to have a balance here in the way that you deliver some of the stuff that you want to deliver, the things that you've learned behind the curtain, if you will. It's in the way you're presenting it, and Spirit wants you to come through with the message as a messenger of love with the Knight of Cups. But with the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Cups, for some reason I'm seeing that as a joke. I'm seeing it as this Knight of Cups telling a joke. Like the Seven of Swords, it's kind of like, so you know, there's like this person sitting at a table with a group of people and they haven't said anything all night. They've kind of just eaten their food and listened to everybody else speaking. And then all of a sudden it's like somebody comes out with something, like it's like a shock with the Seven of Swords. And it makes everybody laugh because that person hadn't said anything. It's like with the Temperance card, it's a balance, and the Two of Pentacles here as well. You're here with the Hanged Man. Yeah, there's the Knight of Wands. He definitely can be a comedian, right? But we won't get too deep into the deck. Let's stay focused here. We also have Sagittarius and Pisces here. Those signs could be songs, I almost said. Signs can be significant to you, Aries. What I'm seeing here is you're here to help change the perspectives of people. This Hanged Man is like you going behind the curtain of that puppet show, or like the Truman Show with the Hanged Man here. It's like you're here to help change the perspective, but Spirit wants you to do it in a balanced way with the Two of Pentacles and the Temperance card. These are two cards of balance. It's like it's kind of like a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down is what I'm seeing here with this like kind of joking energy, where it's like you have this really, you know, you could even be exposing people. These could be literal exposés, because I am seeing writing here as well. So maybe you're also a writer or you want to do something like that. Swords can be words. Swords can be a pen, right? With the Page of Swords here as well. But with the Two of Swords, it's looked like you haven't wanted to, or you haven't known how to, with two twos here, to do what you want to do here. But you're the person for the job, because like I started off with at the start of this, you're somebody that Spirit is awarding this position to, right? And with the Emperor, you're more than capable of doing this. This is your card and you're showing up as yourself. So the way that I'm seeing this is you have something to say, you have something to do. It's just kind of about the way that you present that information, and they're going to show you more about that with this Temperance card. To me also just is what it looks like, an angel. You have angels speaking to you. You have angels showing you things, right? And some of the things that you want to do and say are going to be controversial with the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords, but that's why you're here, right, Aries? You're here to change perspectives. The things that they showed you, they want you to show. This Temperance card for me sometimes is kind of like a show and tell energy, like he's doing a trick here. Temperance is about alchemy. And going back to that joke example, it's like, and you are a fire sign, Aries. It's like you have this ability to capture a room. It's almost like a magic trick energy coming through here with the Two of Pentacles as well. It's like they're both doing things. They're both like working with their hands. That's what I'm seeing here, Aries. So apply that to where it applies in your life. That could even be financial. That could be like you know, having the ability to do like multiple things at once with the Two of Pentacles. These are just allegories, you know. Card number 1 is the High Priestess. I felt the High Priestess energy in my my opening speech there, Aries. And I forgot what I said, but I saw the High Priestess. It's basically, it's just this energy of everything I was saying. It's like they showed you behind the curtain, and the High Priestess is sitting in front of a curtain. You know, it's like she can choose, you know, she's like outside of the matrix, you know, and I feel like Spirit has showed you some things that they want you in your own way to express. And it's funny because the High Priestess typically stays quiet, but we do have some cards that are also combined with the High Priestess, which are the Hanged Man and the Temperance card, which it's kind of like, again, it's this balancing energy coming through. It's how you're presenting this information. It's like, on one hand, we could be shown things behind the curtain that we kind of want to stay quiet about because they're so sacred, and because we have a responsibility to kind of keep these sacred truths, like give them the respect and honor that they deserve. Like, she's holding the Torah, and you know, it's like writing the word God, but writing G-D. It's that sort of an energy coming off of this. And Hanged Man and Temperance are very spiritual energies of alchemy and enlightenment and seeing things from another perspective than the rest of the world does, kind of like being outside of the matrix, for example. But with the Emperor, which is your card, it's your energy, this is who you are, Aries. The Emperor does speak. It's kind of like you're this emperor and you're this High Priestess at the same time. Like, you have this balance to you, and that's why you're the person for this job. I mean, it could even be a nice balance of masculine and feminine within your nature, however you identify. And it doesn't have to be gender-based. I'm just saying the energies of, like, the Emperor knows when he needs to stand up and get something done, like an Aries does. And the High Priestess knows when to sit back and to receive, and there is even an element of reverence with the High Priestess, like she sits in the temple and worships. It's like a combination of those two things with this angel energy and this energy of humility with the Hanged Man, which is an energy you have to get into a position of, again, the word position is coming through for me. There's something about your positioning or the way that you are expressing something that's going to be unique. It's going to be different than the other, you know, spiritual teachers, or it doesn't even have to be spiritual teaching. I'm just saying it's like you have some sort of perspective here that other people also have. You know, you're not the only one. And I'm not saying that in a rude way. I'm saying, like, in the Matrix, he was like the one. Like, he was the savior, essentially, Neo, right? But it's not like that in the collective. It's like we're all Neo. We are Neo. We are one with each other, comprising this one thing is how I see it, at least. And I feel like you have a way of expressing a truth that other people also know, but the way that you have the capacity to bring it forward is why you're being the one who's been elected to do this particular work, whatever that may be for you. All right, card number 2 is the King of Swords. The King of Swords and the High Priestess would be kind of what I'm describing here. It's kind of an emperor-ish energy with the King of Swords for me, because he has a lot of wisdom and people like respect him when he talks, like when a doctor walks into a room. You know, it's that sort of a feeling. And when a doctor enters the room, it's like people look to the doctor too, or they look to the lawyer And it doesn't have to be a doctor or a lawyer, but it's that sort of an energy where it's like a professional, an expert, somebody that is not just, coming in. Sometimes with the Hanged Man, it can be somebody who knows the secrets of the universe and is coming back from they just spent 3 months under the stars in Peru, and they experience the truth of the afterlife, and they really have some answers. But sometimes in certain settings, wherever you may be located or what have you, people aren't just going to settle for and I'm not saying this with any sort of a disrespect. I'm saying I'm seeing a particular energy. It's like walking into, a room full of doctors, lawyers, and coming in with scraggly hair and being I found the secret to life, man. And you have a joint behind your ear. I'm saying you're a combination of both of those things, whether you smoke or not. It's not about that. I'm seeing it as you have the wisdom with the King of Swords and the High Priestess, the spiritual wisdom to understand that if you want to quote unquote convince a room full of, psychologists or lawyers, it's you're coming in with peer-reviewed papers, so to speak. You know what you need to do. You understand something that it's just an example, Aries, but it's the energy. It's you could be that, bumbling fool, so to speak, coming in with your scraggly hair and your joint behind the ear and your guitar in the back of your car. You could also be Jack Dorsey. Do you know what I'm saying here? I'm just saying. We know what we need to do to mingle with certain people, but at the same time, we're all talking about the same thing. And my point with this message is, with the King of Swords, you have that understanding, but you're a high priestess or a high priest, or however you identify. And so that's why they're electing you, because you understand how to play the game, quote unquote, and it's not a game, it's life, and we're outside of it. So that's what we're dealing with here. Card number 3 is the Two of Wands. You haven't known how to proceed. 2, 2, 2. Two of Swords, Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles. 2, 2, 2. And they came out in this order. You've gone in your mind. You've thought about, how do I present this? How do I say this? Maybe you need to write a screenplay like The Truman Show. There's lots of ways to express these things. We can do it through art. We can do it through music. We can do it through intellectual debate. We can do it through starting a company. It doesn't have to always be one way. And I feel like you're still in the stage of figuring out how to go forward with this. And they're going to be showing you more with the High Priestess and the Temperance and the Hanged Man and the Emperor. They're going to show you what to do next. I love you, Aries. Like I said, I'm closing down my Patreon, but for those who are part of my Patreon, the extended is coming up next. So thank you, everybody, and I'll see you next time.